Hello everyone, this is Funny here. I've been planning this Let's Play for quite a while, and since today is Valentine's Day, I might as well do this romance visual novel that I never played before. It's called Katawa Shoujo. I've never played this game before. I've seen my friend played it. I've seen few gameplays of it so far. And so far I've adjusted the options. One of my friends requested me to do Katmara, so I'm gonna do that tomorrow, later if I got the time. But right now, I'm gonna see if I can upload this on Valentine's Day as soon as possible, because it's for the tradition. And of course, I had some personal issues going on. And what else? Yeah, that's basically it. Let's see how this one goes. Hopefully it doesn't lag as much or gives me any stupid copyright issues. A light breeze causes the naked branches overhead to rattle like wooden wind chimes. This is a popular retreat for couples in the summer. Wait, why did I say delicious? Darn, I can't even read. The deciduous trees provide a beautiful green canopy, far out of sight of teachers and fellow students. But now, in late winter, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. I breathed into my cupped hands and rubbed them together furiously to prevent them from numbing in this cold. Just how long am I expected to wait out here anyway? I'm sure the note said 4 p.m. By the way, I will be recording this for half an hour, so hopefully I can bear with it. Bear with me, guys. I always do uploads for about 30 minutes or below. Ah yes, the note. Slipped between the pages of my math book while I wasn't looking. As far as cliches go, I'm more a fan of the letter in that locker, but at least this way shows a bit of initiative. Because in person is more better. Darn. As I ponder the meaning of the note, the snowfall gradually thickens. The snowflakes silently falling from the white painted sky are the only sign of time passing this stagnant world. Their slow descent upon the frozen forest makes it seem like time has slowed to a crawl. The rustling of dry snow underfoot startles me, interrupting the quiet mood. Someone is approaching me from behind. Hi, Hisao, you came? A hesitating, barely audible question. However, I recognize the owner of that dainty voice instantly. I feel my heart skip a beat. It's a voice I've listened to hundreds of times, but never as more than an eavesdropper to a conversation. I turn to face his voice, the voice of my dreams, and my heart begins to race. Awesome. Iwanako? I got a note telling me the way here. It was yours? Damn it! I spent all afternoon trying to come up with a good line, and that was the result. Oh, great. Pathetic. Yes, I asked a friend to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it. A shy, joyous smile that makes me so tense I couldn't move a single muscle even if I tried. My heart is pounding now, as if it were trying to burst out from my chest and claim this girl for itself. So, here we are, out in the cold. Once again, the wind stirs up the branches. The cacophonous noise is music to my ears. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Wanako flinches ever so softly against the gust of wind. As it passes, she rights herself as if supported by some new confidence. Her eyes lock with mine, and she lazily twirls her long, dark hair around her finger. All the while, the ancient beating of my heart grows louder. My throat is tight. I doubt I could even force a word out of if I tried. Well, I would be having the same problem as him if I want to confess. You see, I wanted to know if you'd go out with me. I stand there, motionless, safe for my pounding heart. I want to say something in reply, but my vocal cords feel like they've been stretched beyond the breaking point. Hisao? I reach up to try to massage my throat, but this only sends spikes of blinding pain along my arms. Hisao! My whole body freezes, save for my eyes, which shoot open in terror. Hisao! The beating in my chest suddenly stops, and I go weak at the knees. The world around me, the canopy of bare branches, the dull winter sky. Iwanako running towards me, all these fade to black. The last things I remember before slipping away are the sounds of Iwanako screaming for help and the incessant clatter of the branches above. I hope the recording window's okay. Hopefully. Getting the mouse pointer out of the way, just in case. It's been 4 months since my heart attack. Oh. The protagonist has a problem. That's not good. That whole time, I can probably count the times I've left this hospital room unsupervised on one hand. 4 months is a pretty long time when you're left alone with your thoughts, so I've had plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. Arthithemia. A strange word, a foreign alien one. I am not really sure if I pronounced that right. I apologize. Hopefully you give me some pronunciations by messaging me in the comments. So yeah. One that you don't want to be in the same room with. A rare condition. It causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. Apparently, I've had it for a long time. They said it was a miracle that I was able to go on so long without anything happening. Is that really a miracle? I guess it was supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of my life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up. Oh boy. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had 2 hemorrhages apiece. I had already had a full day by then to digest everything. To them, it was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. Of course, there isn't a cure. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I've had to stay at the hospital to recuperate from the treatments. When I was first admitted, it felt as if I was missed. For about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards. The visitors soon dwindled and all the get well gifts began trickling down to nothing shortly after. I realized that the only person I had gotten so many cards and flowers was because sending me their sympathy had been turned into a class project. I am not really sure if it's a bad thing. Maybe some people were genuinely concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came by on a regular basis. Iwanako was the last to stop visiting. After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had that much to talk about when she visited anyway. Oh man. We didn't touch the subject that was between us on that snowy day ever again. The hospital. It's not really a place I like to live in. Despite the issue, yeah, and it's really cold too. The doctors and nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess it's because they are in a hurry and they have a million other patients waiting for them, but it makes me feel uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate of when I'd be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me to wait and see if the treatment and surgeries worked. So, I idly observed the scar that those surgeries had left on my chest slowly change its appearance over time, thinking of it as some kind of an omen. I still ask the head cardiologist about leaving, but my expectations are low enough now that I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get the reply. The way he shuffles around the answer shows that there is at least some hope. At some point, I stopped watching TV. I don't know why. I just did. Let me see this. Maybe it was the wrong kind of escapism for my situation. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital. Although it was more like a storeroom for books, I began working my way through it, one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more. By the way, my commentary is more serious than usual. Little bit of reactions on certain stuff like that. I found that I liked reading, and I think I even became a bit addicted. I started feeling naked without a book in my hands. True, because we need some good reading. Reading is a good thing. But I love the stories. Me too. That was what my life was like. The days became increasingly harder. I was going to say interestingly harder, but it says increasingly harder to distinguish from each other, differing only by the book I was reading and the weather outside. It felt like time blurred into some kind of gooey mass I was trapped inside, instead of moving within. A week could go by without me really noticing it. Sometimes I'd pause in realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was. But other times, all the things that surrounded me would painfully crash into my consciousness through the barrier of non-challenge I had set up for myself. The pages of my book would start to feel sharp and burning hot, and the heaviness in my chest would become so hard to bear that I had to put the book aside and just lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry. But that happened only rarely, and I couldn't even cry. Today the doctor comes in and gives me a smile. He seems excited, but not very. It's like he is trying to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. My parents are here. It's been a few days since I've last seen them. Both of them are even sort of dressed up. Is this supposed to be some kind of special occasion? It's not a party. There is this ritual the head cardiologist has. He takes his time, sorting his papers, then setting them aside as if to make a point of the pointlessness of what he just did. Then he casually sits down on the edge of the bed next to mine. He looks me in the eyes for a moment. Hello, Hisao. How are you today? I don't answer him, but I smile a little back at him. Excuse me. I believe that you can go home. Your heart is stronger now, and with some precautions, you should be fine. We have all your medication sorted out. I'll give your father this prescription. The doctor hands a sheet of paper to my dad, whose expression turns wooden as he reads it quickly. So many. I take it from his hand and take a look at myself, feeling numb. How am I supposed to react to this? No, right? Oh my goodness. The absurdly long list of medications staring back at me from the paper seems insurmountable. Holy crap, that's a tremendous amount of medication right there. They all blend together in a sea of letters. How am I supposed to read all of this? This is insane. Side effects, adverse effects, contraindications, and dosages are listed line after line with cold precision. I try to read them, but it's so futile. I can't understand any of it. Attempting to only makes me feel sicker. All this, for the rest of my life, every day. I'm afraid that is the best we can do at this point. However, new medications are always being developed, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that list fade over the years. Years. What kind of confidence booster is that? I'd have felt better if he hadn't said anything at all. Also, I've spoken with your parents and we believe that it would be best if you don't return to your old school. What? Please, calm down, Hisao. Listen to what the doctor has to say. Calm down? The way he says it tells me he knew full well that I wouldn't like it. Am I going to be homeschooled? Whatever my concern shows, it's ignored. We all understand that your education is paramount. However, I don't think that it's wise for you to be without supervision. At least not until we're sure that your medication is suitable. So, I've spoken to your parents about a transfer. It's a school called Yamaku Academy that specializes in dealing with disabled students. Yeah, of course, because since I have a heart problem. Disabled? What am I? It has a 24-hour nursing staff and is only a few minutes from a highly regarded general hospital. The majority of students live on the campus. Think of it as a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give students a degree of independence while keeping help nearby. Independence? It's a school for disabled kids. Don't try to disguise that fact. If it was really that free, there wouldn't be a 24-hour nursing staff, and you wouldn't make a hospital being nearby a selling point. Of course, that's only if you want to go, but your mother and I aren't really able to homeschool you. We went out there and had a look a couple weeks back. I think you'd like it. It looks like I really don't have a choice. Compared to other heart problems, people with your condition usually tend to live long lives. You'll need a job one day, and this is a good opportunity to continue your education. This isn't an opportunity. Don't call it an opportunity. Don't call it a goddamn opportunity. Well, my opinion, jobs are important. Well, you should be excited at the chance to go back to school. I remember you wanted to return to school, and while it's not the same one, special school, that's an insult. That is what I want to say. It's a step down. It's not what you think. All of the students there are pretty active, in their own sort of way. It's geared towards students that can still get around and learn, but just need a little help, in one way or another. Your father's right, and many of the graduates of the school have gone on to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. That's true. One of my colleagues in another hospital is a graduate. I don't care. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. That's what a disability is. I really hate that something so important was decided for me. But what can I do about it? A normal life is out of the question now. It's funny. I had always thought my life was actually kind of boring, but now I miss it. I want to protest. I want to blame this lack of reaction on shock or fatigue. I could easily yell at something now, something about how I can go back to school anyway, but no. I don't say anything. The fact is that I know now it's futile. I look around the room, feeling very tired tired of all this. The hospital, doctors, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. There really isn't a choice. I know this, but the thought of going to a disabled school, what are those even like? As much as I try to put a positive spin on this, it's very difficult. But let me try. A clean slate isn't a bad thing. That is all I can think of me. That is all I can think of to get me through this. At least I still have something. Even if it's a special school, it's something. It's a fresh start, and my life isn't over. It would be a mistake to just resign myself to thinking that. Yes, it's another word of trying it out. Be confident in yourself. At the very least, I'll try to see what my new life will look like. Alright. At 1. Life expectancy. By the way, there was download for the Katawa Shoujo at 1, but I realized that it's a demo. So I'm playing. So you know what? I'm playing the full version. Yeah, that's everything. Oh man, look at that gate. Look how beautifully designed it is. I wish I have it in my state. The gate looked far too pompous for what it was. Yeah, it kind of looks like a mansion in the background. Behind the gates, of course. In fact, gates in general seem to do that, but this one especially so. Red bricks, black wrought iron, and gray plaster, assembled into a whole that didn't feel welcoming at all. I wondered if it looked like what a gate for a school should look like, but couldn't really decide. Probably no. Of course, I didn't want to get stuck on thinking about the gate for too long, so I entered through it with a brisk pace that felt surprisingly good. Moving forward feels good. Oh! Now it looks realistic that way. So I walk towards the main building of Yamaku Academy with this brisk pace. I'm alone, as my parents are taking my stuff to the dorms, and there's supposed to be someone waiting for me. The grounds are incredibly lush, filled with green. Ah, the summer peaceful days, just like what I'm seeing outside right now. Even though I don't have a webcam. It doesn't feel like the kind of grounds a school would have. More like a park, with a clean walkway going past trees and the smell of fresh cut grass and all other park-like things. Words like clean and hygienic pop into my mind. It makes me shudder. I shake them off. Stay open-minded now. It's your new life. You have to take it as it comes. That's what I tell myself. A few big buildings loom behind the leafy canopies. Too big and too many for just a school. Everything seems off. It's different from what I thought I knew about schools. It's an uncanny valley, even though I was told this is my new school. In the back of my head, it doesn't feel like one. I wonder if the feeling is real or caused by my expectations of a school for the disabled. Speaking of that, I don't see anyone else here. It's kinda eerie. Makes me wish there was somebody here so I could anchor myself to something tangible instead of having this feeling that I stepped into another dimension. Yes, we need someone to socialize with, be friends with. The trees hum with the wind, and the green hues flashing all around me catch my attention. It makes me think about hospitals again. How they say that the operating rooms are painted green because green is a calming color. So why am I feeling so anxious despite all this greenery? Only after I stand in front of the haughty main building, I surprise myself by realizing why the gate bothered me. It was the last chance I had to turn back, even if I had no life I could return to. No kidding. But still, after entering, there was absolutely no way I could go back anymore. Feeling nervous, and with this realization set in my head, I opened the front door. A tall man with bad posture notices me as I enter. We're the only people in the lobby, so it's only logical. You must be the Nakai. So you are. Excellent. I'm your homeroom and science teacher. My name is Muto. Welcome. We exchange a handshake that is neither firm nor sloppy, and he looks at his watch. The head nurse asks you for a brief check-in visit, but there's no time for that now. Oh, should I go later? Yes, afternoon is probably fine. We should get going and introduce you to the rest of the class. They're waiting already. Waiting for me? I don't really like being the center of attention, but I guess it's inevitable in a situation like this. All transfer students do that. They're part of the center of attention, in my opinion. Somehow, not knowing that what is waiting for me makes me feel really nervous. Thinking of this, I almost miss what the teacher is saying. Do you want to introduce yourself to the class? Oh, look. I want to save this real quick. Whoa. Sure thing. Yeah, sure. I mean, isn't that normal? Of course, but not everyone likes to be at the center of attention. I'm probably one of those people, but I guess I should be the one to give the first impression of myself. Right, but it's no problem. Let's go then. My heart is pounding my chest as it keeps me thinking about my condition as I follow the teacher up the stairs. The third door down the third floor corridor is marked as the classroom for Class 3-3. Muto opens the door and enters. Morning, everyone. Sorry I'm late again. Alright, I'm gonna be ending here for now. So, hope you guys enjoy this. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. And message me in the comments if you want more of this. So, thanks for watching. Goodbye.